Okay, yeah. I don't know, y'all up there. Why? Got you, door. What do you want to do? Just do that. How can you get a bunch of contacts in? How do you forget to put your contacts in? I don't know how that's possible. Do your parents know that you forgot to put your contacts in? So you didn't tell them? So just turn around and walk back through the door.
My dad started to walk back through.
What?
My dad started to walk back through.
If you had told him though, hey Dad, I need to go get my contacts for him, what do you think he probably said? I don't know what to tell you. Okay, now you guys should have already done scatter plot, right? I think we did this the other day. You need to go back and finish that. What was the other one? Line of fit. Okay, so you have scatter plot and line of fit. You guys just got both those and two done, right? Okay. All right, let's look at example 1. Actually, go ahead and get the objective and the pass skill. Some of you guys may have already got that down because it's on what else? The pair check, and I think it's also on the worksheet, isn't it? Okay, so some of you guys may have already got that down, which is great. Okay, today's date's 2/5/16. Okay, now what we're talking about today is we're talking about parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, now the little symbol that we use, if you see this symbol, that just basically means that these two lines are parallel. Symbol for parallel lines is just two lines right next to each other. Okay, the sign for perfect or the symbol for perpendicular is you'll have a line and then one right underneath it. You guys can see that, all right? Okay, so now, again, remember, how many lines do we have? This is for some reason, this is the hardest concept to understand. If we have parallel lines, how many lines do we have, guys? We got 2 lines. So how many equations are we going to have? We're going to have 2 equations, right? Okay, one thing in particular about parallel lines that's always true is that their slope is going to be what? The same. Okay, so if I'm writing equations for parallel lines and I have an equation for one line, will I know the slope for the other equation that I'm writing? Yeah. Then all I got to do is find what? The y-intercept. Okay? So that's basically what we're doing with these. Okay? If you look at the first example, write the slope-intercept form of an equation for the line that passes through 4 and -2, it is parallel to which line? Parallel to this equation here, right? So, basically, if this helps you, go ahead and write this down. This is the first equation. Some people even like to label it equation A. Okay, so now I need to write an equation, or a second equation, or equation B, that's what? It'll be parallel, right? So I do know I can start with point slope since I have what? What information do I have? I got a point, and do I have the slope? I do. What is the slope? 1/2. It's going to be the same as the other line. Okay, so now, since I have point slope, I can go ahead and start at point slope and just simplify it. Y minus what? -2 equals 1/2 x minus 4. Good. That's where this comes from. X1, Y1. Now it's just a matter of simplifying it. Okay? Y plus 2, good.
Oh, wait, 1/2 x minus 2.
Minus 2, good. Now, what would I do? Move this over there, which makes it a negative 2, right? Simplify it, y equals 1/2 x minus 4, good. Again, now notice, what do I have here? I got equation 1 and I got equation 2. What's similar about those two? Same slope, but they have different what? Y-intercepts. So we'll have one that's going, showing on the graph. So we'll have one at 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go up 1, right 2. And then I have one going through where? First one goes through what? So negative 4, negative 5, and then 6, and then 7. And then the same slope. Which equation was that? That was what? Y equals 1/2 x minus 4. And then this one was, yeah. Oops. Kind of hard. Y equals 1/2 x minus 7. Everybody see it? Pretty easy, right? Any questions? Okay, look at 2, or write that down, just see why P. Okay, perpendicular lines. How are these different? Perpendicular lines, what is it about their slopes that's going to be different than what we just talked about? Kind of the opposite what? Reciprocals, right? So write these examples down so you kind of get a feeling. What's the opposite reciprocal of 1? Negative 1. What's the opposite reciprocal of 1 over 2? 2 over 1, then I have to attach what to it? A negative. Okay? Where's the opposite? The opposite is the sign. You guys with me on this? The opposite is the sign. The reciprocal is the fraction part, the rise over the run. Everybody clear on that? Okay, so what's the reciprocal of negative 3? The opposite would be positive. What's the reciprocal? 1/3. Everybody get that? Okay, that's what's happening there. All right. Can I still do the same thing that I just did on the other ones? Yeah. Still writing an equation here. All right. Okay, the height of a trapezoid is the length of segment that's perpendicular to both bases. And trapezoid ARTP, RT and AP are bases. Okay, so RT, and then what was the other one? AP. So this line right here and then this line. Okay, can EZ be used to measure the height of the trapezoid?
Okay.
Yeah. You sure?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Can it be used to measure the height? If it's the height, it has to be what? What? Perpendicular, doesn't it? Okay, so it's EZ perpendicular. Where the base is at? The base, you got one base here, right? And then you have one base here, don't you? So my height should be what? It's gotta be perpendicular to the base, doesn't it? Everybody see that? It can't be EZ here because it's not perpendicular to the base. You guys with me? Okay. Okay, the height of a trapezoid is the length of the segment that is perpendicular to both bases. And trapezoid AR, TP, RT, and AP are bases. Are the bases parallel? Are those two bases parallel? How do I know for sure?
Check slope.
Check the slope. How do I check the slope? I can count rise over run, and then I can also do what? Use the formula. So what's the order pair for that point? 5, and what? 3, and then this one would be -1 and 1, right? Okay, so 3 minus 1 would be 3 minus 1 would equal what? 2. And then 5 minus the -1 be what? 6 equals 1/3, right? Okay, now check this one. What's the point for here? 6 and 0. And then the point for this one would be -2 and what?
8.
So 8 minus 0, -2 minus what? 8 over
-4.
-8, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, they're not both different.
Well, they're not parallel, are
They're different.
they? Okay, the slopes aren't the same, so they're not parallel, are they? Oh, so you know what I did? I counted wrong, didn't I? That's the wrong point. So it should be what?
What is the same?
Nah, it won't. Be what? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's what? 8, 9, 10 then. And that should be -4. Alright, so -10 minus 0. And then -4 over what? 6. Which still be, it is still the same.
Yeah, because these are the same one.
Okay. Very good. So on the same line. So they're not parallel. Okay, the height, we just did that one, didn't we? Okay, there's a CYP. Take a look over that real quick. That's good. Okay, now look at this one. Determine whether the graphs of x plus 3y equals 12, y equals 1/3 x plus 2, and 2x minus 6y equals -5 are parallel or perpendicular, and then explain. So what do I need to match up? Where do I need to see if this is the same or match up? So the slopes, right? So do I need to do something to this equation? I'm going to make that equation A. Alright? And then I'm going to make that one equation B. Do I have to do anything to the second equation? No? It's already in the form I need it, right? What's the slope?
1/3.
1/3, right? And then equation C, which would be what? 2x plus 6y equals -5. Now I gotta change these. Where do I move here to get the slope intercept? Move that over there, that gives me 3y equals -x. Put a 1 in front of it if you like. Then divide by what? 3. Y equals -1/3 x plus what? 4. Okay, so A and B, what are they? Are they parallel? You sure?
No, because it's negative.
Right, one's going down, one's falling, one's rising, so they're not parallel. Are they perpendicular? Yeah, are they perpendicular? You sure?
No.
They're opposites, but they're not what? Reciprocals. Okay, so there's nothing with those. Okay, we gotta switch this in slope intercept form, right? Move that over there, which gives me then divide by -6. Y equals 1/3 x plus 5/6. Just leave it like that. Okay, so we got the slope here. This slope. Okay, so 1/3. Slope equals 1/3 there. Slope equals -1/3. So what do you see here? B and C are what? B and C are parallel. Notice on all three of those, though, we had to get them in what form? Slope, intercept, right? So we know what the slope is, so we can compare the slopes. I don't have to graph them. Even if I wanted to graph them, I'd still have to get in slope intercept form. Any questions on that? That's good? Andrew, you good? Are you copying these notes down? You should be. You're getting graded on them. All of them?
The one I didn't get was one we just did.
Was that one on the old video? That one that we just did, was it on the old one? Okay. Determine whether the graphs of y equals -2x plus 1. Is this one on the old video? This one is? Is it in your notes? Huh? No? Okay, so I got equation A, y equals -2x plus 1. And then B is x minus 2y equals -4. And then C is y equals 3. Now look at C. What kind of line is C? They're all straight. These two are straight, right? It's a horizontal line, so what's the slope going to be? 0, right? I can go ahead and get that one out of the way. Everybody with me? Okay. So now, this one would be -2 over 1. Change it to slope intercept form. -2, right? There's the slope here, 1/2. What can you tell me about these lines? Which ones? A and B are perpendicular, right? -2/1, and then 1/2 are those opposite reciprocals. Okay? Okay, this is probably one of the hardest ones that you'll have to do. Write an equation in slope intercept form of a line that passes through 4, -1 is perpendicular to the graph. Okay, if it's perpendicular, I gotta find the slope of this line, right? So move that over there. -7x plus 3 divided by -2. Y equals 7/2x minus 3/2. Do I want to change anything about that? Do I turn it into a mixed number? Hello? Would I turn this into a mixed number? Just leave it like that, right? Rise over run. So now what's my slope of my second line gonna be? It's gonna be -2/7, right? What form can I start with? Point slope, good. Okay, so y minus -1 equals -2/7, x minus 4. Y plus 1, so x, that over 1 would be plus 8/7. Subtract 1 from both sides. How can I turn 1 into a fraction that has a denominator of 7? 7/what? 7. So now 8 minus 7 gives me what? Plus or minus? Plus, isn't it? That's it? Put that down.
Man, you can get your feet out of that seat. Other people have to sit in.
Appreciate it. That's good. We got it written down. Still going.
How was the sound yesterday?
Cool. Did you erase all my stuff? Looks like you erased everything. Can you guys read that okay? Here's the CYP, you may want to write this one down.
I think there's some room over to the right of there, and then. Underneath step 2. That's the only thing.
Good. Okay, picture mastery, go back to your mastery box. Okay, you got a pair check, right? You can go, if you're down with the pair check, go ahead and work on your worksheet. Is that the same one? On your pair check? Or is it different? Is that the same one? Okay, so it wants to write an equation in what form? So, wait, tell me what that is. Okay, that's the given point. What's the given point? Yeah, it's right here, right? This one here. -2, -3. What's the slope of the line that's already graphed? 2, isn't it? Okay, so if that slope is 2, then the slope of my other line is going to be what? Or parallel. 2 also, right? What can we start out in? What do I have? I got a point, I got a slope, right? So I go y minus 3. What's next, guys? Got 3. Plus 1. Now, how would I drop that line? Guys, watch this real quick. What's the easiest way to graph this line on my graph? Where do I need to find it? On that, which is where? Here's the x-axis, the y-axis, so put a point right there. Hold on, so you guys did all right. Everybody get it there? About this one. Alright, equation slope versus line becomes parallel. So the slope is what?
3.
Okay, so the slope of my other line is going to be 3 also, right? Again, x is 1, y 1. Start what form? Just plug your numbers in and solve it, right? Simplify it. Everybody good there? I think you guys can do that one, right? Okay, determine whether the graphs of the following equations are parallel or what? Perpendicular. And I've already labeled them for you. Looks awful nice to me. You're welcome. No kudos or nothing?
Thank you for the warning.
You're very welcome, Ramon. Okay, so what's the slope of your first line?
Well,
So 2/3. And this one is, are these two lines anything?
No, because it's not made.
They're reciprocals, but they're not what? Opposites, are they? Okay, what's the slope of your other line? What am I gonna do? Move that over there? Then what? What's that? -3. Slope is 2/3. So what do you got here? Parallel, good. Are they perpendicular? Why are they not perpendicular? Well, they're reciprocals, but they're not what? They're not opposites, are they? Both of them are positive. Okay? Right equation is slope is so far from the line attached to a point and is perpendicular. Okay, so the slope of the line that I have is going to be what? What's the slope of the line that's given? 2. Let me bring that 2 over here. First line. Okay, so my second line is going to be what? What's the slope where it going to be? No. That one is 2/1. Very good. So what form would I start with? Well, I have point and a slope. So start what? What slope? So y minus what? Equals, which one of these two do I use? Do I use this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, x what? -4. That all one? Okay. I think that should give you a good head start, right? That help a little bit?